It's having a think about it.
Yeah,
Maybe it doesn't like us.
I don't know. I just got a thing on my phone saying watch live now at the upper tier. 2 minutes past 8. Hmm. Uh,
Maybe I'll try it again, will I?
yeah, I'm sorry, I'm at a loss.
Let's go again and let's see. Oh, we're live. There you go.
Oh, you're live. Okay, great.
There you go. We are live, folks. Sorry about that. A little bit of a blip there. StreamYard, the gremlins, and all that kind of stuff. Welcome to the show. It is the upper tier. It is Pro Wrestling Weekly when you see me and Sean on your screens. We have a great show planned for you tonight. Some really good stuff coming up. Lots to get through. Again, another belter of a weekend. And not only that, a belter of a weekend that really put on an absolute display and a clinic of women's wrestling and how it has progressed was absolutely fantastic. Sean, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Niall. How are you?
Good, yeah, absolutely brilliant, yeah. Really looking forward to 66 days to go to Vegas. So really looking forward to that as well. It's coming up pretty quick now, so
Yeah.
let's see what's happening. Eno was in there as well. Big up Eno. What's the crack? All good, my friend. All good. So yeah, we're going to take you through. We're going to go through AEW Grand Slam. Nice to have an AEW show where there's not a whole lot to complain about. For a change, pretty good. Not too many matches, just the right amount, and also really nicely well planned and stuff like that. Then we're going to go through Vengeance Day, which was absolutely excellent. We're going to update you on the Elimination Chamber. We'll do a recap of Raw. We're going to update you on the WrestleMania card. We're going to update you on the Hall of Fame. But before we get, also we're going to update you, on WWE ID. Triple H showing those two beautiful new belts that they've got ready for that, and apparently the people have been selected, but they haven't been released yet in terms of the name. So we'll see what happens there and get your thoughts on that. But before we begin, I always have an axe to grind on these things. The One Dead Man Show. I got a text in today to get on stage and toast the Undertaker. Not much change out of $3,000.
Oh my God.
And that doesn't include the entry ticket to the show.
So that's just like an add-on.
It's probably another $300 to $500, I'd imagine.
My God. When is that? Is that for Mania weekend or is that for
Mania? I presume it's Mania week, yeah. He also has a hospitality box booked and he's charging extortionate money to share the WrestleMania 41 experience with him in a hospitality box.
My God. The highest grossing event of all time, they'll say.
The highest grossing hospitality suite of all time. Now, just to add to that as well, Hulk Hogan also has a hospitality suite. And for the privilege of sharing the WrestleMania 41 moment with Hulk Hogan, plus a photo op, not much change out of 10 grand.
In fairness, though, would you go with Hogan? I think I'd rather go in the Hostel from that Eli Roth movie, Hostel, than spend a night with Hogan.
I think I'd rather spend a night down in the bottom of the well with Buffalo Bills and Signs of the Lambs or something like that. That type of bread. I just have to put it out there now. I don't care how big a fan you are of either of these guys, and I'm as big a fan of Hulk Hogan as anyone out there. Not necessarily as big a fan of The Undertaker, but I get people are a fan of him. But if you're the type of wrestling fan that's paying this type of bread, you really need to check yourself and look in the mirror. I don't care if you've won the Euro Millions. I don't care if you won the postcode lottery. I don't care if you hit the Thunderball. If you're paying that type of money to be around these guys, you really need to check yourself.
There isn't enough pain in the world for you if that's what you throw your money at.
That's it. One half of the Shawnee Bros. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right, Eno. Thank you very much.
Should be brother with an A at the end, no ER.
Yeah, I am celebrating a Pantera week. All this week.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Pantera. Very good.
That's on Friday. So I'll definitely pop into the shop if you're around. And
I'm in Friday.
And I'm going to be debuting my fanny pack that I got at WB Live in Dublin. It's the first time I'm going to bring it to a concert, so hopefully I'll have less stuff to carry around. So,
was this an internal purchase or on street purchase?
It was internal because we got VIP tickets that time.
Oh, okay.
So part of it was you got to pick a gift. So I think it was like the fanny pack, a Bash in Berlin flag, a lanyard. By the way, this is in October. Bash in Berlin was in like August. So flag for the show that didn't happen in Ireland. That was a couple months ago.
Batista poster.
Yeah. And the only one that I saw much use for was the fanny pack, because I go to gigs and stuff, and I always hate, especially in 3 Arena, having to haul your bag around, especially when you're moshing and stuff. So having a little compartment to store my essentials and not have to, have too much on me is really, really something I want. So I'm going to try it out. Hopefully all goes to plan. But I got it in the 3, so I don't imagine like it's going to get turned away or anything.
The podcast wants photographic proof of this for next week's show.
What of the
John's Army fanny pack?
It's actually not. Yeah, John's Army. Fucking hell. No, it's actually it just says WBB Live on it, I think.
Yeah.
But if I had a John's Army hat, I'd wear that as well.
Absolutely.
You remember them?
Yes.
John's Army hats.
Yes.
And I think at the last show they were selling like the outside vendors were selling masks. I don't mean like Rey Mysterio masks. I mean like rubber face masks of like John Cena, Roman Reigns, Demon Finn Balor.
They used to do the little towels as well. Remember the John's Army towels and the flags and all that.
Oh man, and the foam fingers and everything.
Speaking, we've come a long way when you look at WWE experience now in Riyadh.
We used to be a proper country. How many John's Armies hats they shilling in Saudi? Nothing. You can change the wheel, but you can't reinvent the classics.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going through my stuff there. I don't know whether I said it last week's show either. I went through some of my lanyards or some of my old WrestleMania tickets and all. And in the back was the original EG armband, the Eddie Guerrero armband. Remember that came out after he passed away?
Yeah.
So I had one of the original ones there. So.
Extreme Wrestling shirts are selling those now. Yeah. Like it's just a black Velcro armband with EG on it.
This is one of the original ones, so it was pretty cool to see. Looking forward to Randy Orton costing Kevin Owens our Elimination Chamber, setting up WrestleMania 41 match. Please not be a triple threat. Please.
Triple threat between Randy, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn.
Yeah, no, I don't want that. Don't want any part of that. I'm all over Randy and Kevin. Sammy, no, thank you. Real American piss. There we go. What's I'd rather drink Budweiser. I love Taker, and I got a chance to meet him in real life. But that's absolutely crazy money just to see Taker and Hogan. It's the equivalent of 2 months in the Maldives. Let that sit in, all expenses paid.
Yeah, unless Taker let you sleep in his bed or something, it's still not worth.
I will stream the One Dead Man show and I will watch it on my phone as I'm in one of those beautiful huts in the Maldives, sitting back, eating grapes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just get someone to pirate it and send us a link or something.
That's it. Roll me, how are we? Good to see you, pal. Big game tomorrow night. We will be tuning into it. Lads, you're live on the flat screen. Love to hear it.
On the flat screen?
Yeah, the flat screen, the big 50-inch on the wall or whatever it is,
Wow.
I don't know whether you want to see me on a bigger screen though.
That's I was just about to say I don't think my face was made for big screens. Probably very, very, very small screens.
Some would say it's a face for radio, but not me.
Yeah.
I wonder when Drew doesn't win the Elimination Chamber, will he cry like a bitch again like he did at Survivor Season Royal Rumble? We love a Drew tantrum because it always ends up with a hoodie run-in. So we like that. Looking the fab on the big screen.
Oh, thanks.
Sami Zayn is turning here.
Don't get that a lot. Heel.
I don't care what Sami Zayn turns, to be honest. I'm not interested.
You've no appetite even for the match on Elimination Chamber. Unsanctioned.
If Taker lets me sleep with Michelle McCool, I'll pay it. Would you though? Would you?
What, 10 grand? What, 3 grand? That's an add-on. It's not even for this. So you need to buy a ticket to even go in, and then the other ticket's 3 grand, so like 6 grand.
Roll me. Do you know the kind of party you can have on a yacht with multiple women in Monaco in the harbour for 10 grand? Let that sink in. But we will come back to it. But yeah, I like to highlight these things because for me, it originally started way back when Fozzy started doing the VIPs and you were paying for their dinner and their drinks. And it was like €120 or something like that. And I said, are people crazy? And then it escalated from there. And I just said, this is a snowball rolling down the hill. And eventually wrestling fans will just be bought out of the situation. It's crazy. Eno's in. James Romero for Upper Tier Podcast. If he wants us, not a problem at all. We can talk about it. Right, where do you want to start? We start with AEW?
I think so, yeah.
Positivity. Right, let's roll down through it. Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay defeated Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. Thoughts?
Serious opener, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Really good. Great for Kyle Fletcher to get his hometown crowd against him, which I was really shocked at. But the fact that they did that was crazy.
Big up Fernando.
Omega,
thanks for joining us.
Omega and Ospreay work so well together.
Mm.
Takeshita's like the Japanese Mike Awesome. This was just it was. Now I feel it may have went a hair too long.
Yeah,
but at the same point, my brother was bringing this up. You need to have a really, really strong match to start, because the opening, and AEW do it all the time, but in reality, the opening match will set the tone for the rest of the show. So if the opening match is great, the crowd are excited and they're thinking the show's going to be great. But if it's not a good opener, that kind of hurts. And with the show in Australia, and I feel they had to make up for it, because I see you still have the old graphic. This is going to be in the Suncorp Stadium, a huge outdoor stadium in Australia. It could have been like on the scale of Wembley or something like that, and it sold really badly, so they had to move it to an inside venue, and then they messed around with the start times and everything. So I feel part of it was making up for that. But it was a really, really strong opener, and I was very surprised that they were able to have the match entirely in an 18 by 18 ring. People are going insane about this. They need to calm down. Like, it's pretty common for when companies are wrestling outside of their, I was going to say jurisdiction. When they're international, they might rent a ring from a local company.
Yeah.
But they're acting like it's the little ring that you used to get with your action figures that they had to wrestle in, and it absolutely wasn't. So
these are spoiled wrestling fans who don't spend enough time watching indie shows.
Yeah, my God.
Absolutely. I think one thing I would say about this, I thought Ospreay and Omega look really good as a tag team, don't they? And I'd love to see them form some sort of a tag team and kind of go full pelt, have an entrance music, have matching kind of ring gear. Because I tell you, looking at some of the moves they did and some of the movesets and all that, some of the stuff they did in tandem looked really, really good on the day as well. Like, so it was really
that hidden blade, One Wing and Angel combo in particular was delicious, absolutely delicious.
Yeah,
but no, great way to kick off the show and set the tone for the rest of the evening to follow, I think.
So then, obviously, the next match, which was fairly heavily billed as well, obviously TBS Championship, Mercedes Moné, the champion going in, defeated Harley Cameron to retain the title. Again, this is probably one of the better ones I've watched from Mercedes Moné. It was just a real good kind of wrestling match and stuff like that. But I just thought as well, it's probably the first match I've watched of her where I haven't thought, like, I'm kind of sick of you being champion and you're hogging it.
Yeah.
I was okay with it, you know what I mean? What was your thoughts on this one?
I feel she had a bit of a slump when she started in AEW. Like terrible promos, really underwhelming matches, and I'm happy to say I think by now she's gone off that slump and she's having really good matches. I think when you throw her in there with someone who's really good, well, you can say that with any wrestler. If you're a good wrestler and you're in there with a good wrestler, there's no way you're going to have anything but a good match. Harley Cameron is really over. I don't think I had any doubts in my mind that Mercedes was going to retain. I liked how the puppet got involved. You see, Harley Cameron did the cover of her song with the puppet in it. I thought that was really cool. I think Mercedes, I don't want to hear her on the microphone. I think her mic ability still kind of lets her down. But I think in ring she's really good, and she's starting to have properly good matches, and you can rely on her as well now. You know, she's off of the slump that she was on when she came in, because I think her first program was with her first program was with Willow, which was pretty good, but she had a bit of ring rust on her. Then she did more, but then I think the match with Britt Baker at Wembley, and I say that because I was there, but also because it was Wembley, was really, really bad. And I think people kind of just not never forgave her. It wasn't her fault, but like could never see past that and said, like, you know, she's not improved at all. now she's women's champion. It's going to be like the trenches, but she's improved leaps and bounds, and I just hope that this run of form and run of good opponents continues after.
Well, I think the thing that really bugged people about it was the fact that she was telling everyone how she was the best wrestler on the planet and all the stuff during that period. And people were going, "You're putting in 3 out of 10 matches here. Give over, love. Let's have a performance here that we can talk about, and stop dropping promos like as if your shit doesn't smell.
Yeah,
Let's take a reality check here. Okay, we get it. You're the CEO. We get it. You're this. We get it that you have a bit of an axe to grind against the other place and all that kind of stuff. But let's not get down into the trenches where we're smashing up thrones with a sledgehammer. Let's do our promos. Let's just get on with it here. You're in a new place, new company. They build you as the top dog in there. So let's go do that. You know what I mean? And put on the performance. And I think it's kind of come around to that now at this stage.
Yeah. That smashing of the throne with sledgehammer now that Cody's back in WWE, it feels a bit awkward now.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we get on. Moxley and Claudio defeated Cope and Switchblade Jay White in a Brisbane brawl. A lot to like about this. What a reception Edge got. I'm not sure AEW would have been too enamored by it, but Edge certainly. I got did you get the feeling from Edge? He got a little bit emotional about it, and it was like, kind of missed that place a little bit. His reaction was kind of like, yes, and I'm not sure whether that was the expectation. But God, they sang him in, didn't they? They really sang him in.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's a legend and beloved. So getting that sing song, especially when the music stopped, was emotional. I don't know necessarily about missing the other company. I didn't pick up on that, but I remember he said this, and I hate this promo, but it was the first promo after the Ariel Helwani CM Punk interview, and he said, "I'm closer to the end of my career than I am the start." And I think the fans realize that, especially the fans internationally. So they got to treat him like royalty because he's probably not going to be around much longer. I will say, love Cope. I like Jay White. I want to like the Death Riders, but they're so miserable and so uninspired.
Yeah.
And not even in a heelish way. Like, you don't hate them. It's not that they're unpleasant to watch, not necessarily because like their characters or anything, but just because they're really boring. And I like everyone in there. And when they killed off Bryan Danielson, I was totally hooked. And it's so disappointing to see that they've just fallen so far down. I say not far down the cards. Like, they're still in Brisbane Brawls, but like when I turn on AEW, I'm looking to see everyone except John Moxley.
It's a shame on Wheeler as well, isn't it? Because Wheeler's kind of the third cog in there, and he's kind of like he's a special kind of talent and stuff like that as well, So it's weird, but yeah, the two boys could pull a "Lost My Smile" promo like Michaels, and you'd believe it, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
like they just look so miserable. Now, Claudio's kind of made a career out of looking miserable anyway. So he's kind of, his facial expressions are kind of weird as well. Like if you look back on Claudio's career and you look at it, you would think he absolutely detests pro wrestling, even though he's such a phenomenal wrestler in his own right. You know what I mean? But he never looks like even when he was in the bar and Cesaro and all this kind of stuff, you never felt like he was happy doing it. It was just, this is a job that pays well, and I got to do it. It's like if you're trapped in a job because you have a mortgage or something, but you have to do it, that kind of way.
Yeah, I could tell he was happy in the bar though. Yeah. But his character is like they're there to take over AEW, and they're not doing it like for anyone, just themselves. They're not going to be happy, but it's just, I don't know. But saying that, this is good. Having Cope get choked out. Cope, I hate calling him Cope. I didn't want the Death Riders to win, but I guess we just have to cope and seed because this was pretty brutal match. I liked how, because the thing about John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli, well, the Death Riders, Death Shiters as a whole, they're here to ruin your fun. They're here to destroy, and I mean this like in a good way, as like character motivation. They're here to destroy and ruin everything that people like and enjoy about AEW. So Cope being Cope and getting that huge reaction in Sing Song, and then having him choked out
Yeah. Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
It's not like I cannot believe they did all that and made Cope lose. No, it works because it makes Moxley and Claudio even more despicable. It's the same, you know, deflation, not deflated. I'm trying to think. Is deflation a word? You know what I mean? Like you
Mm.
feel deflated. That same
Yeah.
feeling of being deflated that you feel when he retired Bryan Danielson,
Yeah.
I think was really, really clever. But it seems like they're just beating everyone's favorites and they're not really doing much more. And with
And
yeah,
I suppose on the way as well, they're not gathering that kind of real heelish heat that you would want. You know, that Jericho kind of heat where they're nearly
yeah,
waiting at the car park for them because you're beating all their heroes, kind of thing. You know what I mean? There's a lack of connection there. You know, it's like as if the two boys are on a vendetta, and it's more Moxley, I suppose, and Claudio. Claudio's just in there, like, you know, but it's probably more Mox, and it's just really. It's like as if I'm going to spend a year just giving the crowd two fingers and not giving them what they want.
yeah,
You know, kind of thing.
yeah. I don't know, but saying that, I enjoyed this match a lot.
Mm.
I just hope that next time we're in London, whether that be for Forbidden Door or All In, I'll be there and I'll get to sing a bit of Good Al Metalingus for Cope. But this is a really, again, really, really fun match.
Mm.
All over the place, but as it should be because it was a Brisbane brawl. It was an insert name of city brawl. So there's no
Mm.
way it couldn't be anywhere but all over the place.
It was one of those matches where there was no reason to complain about the missing 2 foot on an 18 by 18. Huh? There
No.
you go. There we go. Next up, AEW Continental Championship. Okada defeated Buddy Matthews to retain the title. I thought Buddy was excellent in this match.
Yeah,
Okada's obviously at that standard, but obviously Buddy was excellent, I think.
absolutely. I was thinking if there was any title that was going to change hands, well, on paper anyway, I think everyone pretty much expected Tony Storm to win, but I heard some discussion that Buddy Matthews could have won. Now, saying that, I don't think he was built enough, and I don't like the idea of stopping Okada's reign
Mm.
just for the sake of the hometown pop. Well, saying that's kind of what they did with Mariah May and
Yeah.
Tony Storm. But this was a really, really good match. I think Buddy Matthews, he's kind of just been stuck in the House of Black. And with them falling down the card and with Malachi
Mm.
Black going and not showing up the Royal Rumble, I feel he's kind of been lost in the shuffle.
Mm.
So getting to wrestle on his own with no shenanigans or anything against someone like Okada, I think really boosts him.
It was clever
And
booking, wasn't it? It was a
yeah,
statement from the company as well. Put him out there, and he did a real good job as well. He put on a real good show and stuff like that
absolutely.
against
And
Okada. So,
it's
so
no loss.
his stock
Yeah.
went up again. Yeah,
And it's no
absolutely.
loss for him to lose this, you know?
Yeah. Oh,
So
absolutely not. And then we rounded out. Timeless returned and picks up the win against Mariah May, and we have a new AEW Women's World Champion. What did you make of this? Were you happy? Were you not? I'm a big fan of both these girls. I think Mariah May has been exceptional, and I think Tony Storm as well. There's so much depth to Tony Storm, and there's so much untapped quality there as well that can be done as well. But I just think she's, in terms of presenting a show and in terms of the crowd and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, for me, I wasn't too upset by it.
no, I like Tony Storm a lot. I haven't been crazy about Mariah May. I think she's had a couple of good matches, but I think the best matches were like with the TBS Championship and everything involving Chris Statlander and now Acers. Come on, it wasn't that bad, was it? Surely not.
Absolutely awful show.
Yeah. Now as I was saying, I was at Wembley and I was talking to people after it, and a lot of people said that they only put the belt on Mariah May to get the home crowd pop, and Tony's going to take some time off and she's going to come back and then win the title. And I was like, no, that's terrible. Like, just give it a chance. And unfortunately, that's pretty much what happened here. But Tony Storm is so over. Um, the timeless gimmick, I think, is so good, and it's so layered, and it's so funny and entertaining and genuinely likable. It's a fun character, throwback character. I think those kind of characters are what got us into wrestling in the first place. And it doesn't help that she's like totally, balls deep in it and really committed to it. And obviously, as I say, you need your hometown boys to win in your hometown because Kyle Fletcher didn't win, Hardy Cameron didn't win, Jay White didn't win, Buddy Matthews didn't win. So, imagine bringing a show to a country and having all the beloved country stars there and having all
And
of
then,
them lose.
and in a country, you're trying to develop a following, and you're trying to, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
You need, and the timing of it was good as well because it gives people something good, a good feeling to go home on. Because
yeah,
obviously, the disappointment there from the others. So listen, you give them something. And listen, we know how rabid Australian fans are and stuff like that and all. So we know that you got to give them something. We know how boisterous and all they can be. And if you kind of screw them, they'll pay you in the future when you rock up again. And I thought the timing of it was good. I don't know what you didn't like about it, Aces. I mean, it was a well put together show. It was
it was
whatever
the ring,
it was 5 or 6 matches, whatever it was. So it was nice and neat.
and it was short.
It didn't have
Yeah,
to run 5.5 hours, and we have to trawl down through 20 matches and 14 fatal four ways and this carnival match and that carnival match. It
yeah.
was just a nice put together card, plenty of hometown involvement and stuff like that. No, what is there not to like about it?
A lot of the
It's
fat got cut off, and that really helped the length of the show. I
yeah,
think AEW
absolutely.
shows often have, pay-per-views often have so much excess on them.
Yeah.
But this one was just, a smooth wrestling show. Like
And,
just a
and
little bit.
the fact that they did that, you're now looking forward to seeing those guys and girls who weren't on the show.
Oh
Because
yeah,
now you're going to start looking for whoever wasn't there, if it was Adam Cole or Orange Cassidy or, or Darby Allin or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So they don't have to be on every show, you know?
no,
Yeah.
absolutely not. But this was a really good example of that. And I know it's a TV special, so it's not as big of a deal as a pay-per-view. But I would love AEW to cut a bit of the fat out of the pay-per-views.
Yeah, there we go. Everest. Does AEW still have Jericho, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks? I haven't seen them in years. Well, Kenny was on the show. He was in the opener with Will Ospreay as tag team and stuff like that, and they had a real good show. The Bucks are still there. I'm sure they are. There's no doubt about that.
I think they're
Jericho's
taking
definitely still there.
I think the Bucks, their contract gives them pretty limited dates. All I ask that we limit them just maybe a little bit more than we do now. But Jericho's still there, yeah. And Kenny's on the show. Yeah, I think all the EVPs, the original EVPs, are there apart from Cody and Brandy.
Yeah, absolutely. Keith saying, I find Mercedes Moné very overrated. I never thought she was amazing as Sasha Banks in the WWE. I thought no, I wouldn't go that far. She was obviously part of that big women's evolution and stuff like that, and played her part, didn't it? She may not have been the top or the second or something, but definitely played a part. I think what happened was she left, and it became very bitter, became a crutch to bear, like what happened with Cody. It became tough and stuff like that, and some of the stuff that was coming out, and obviously the hindrance of the promos was manifesting itself in the ring, basically, but yeah, I don't know, I wouldn't say she's overrated. I'd say she's probably taken time to find a position and kind of go back to. I'm not sure whether she enjoys her wrestling or not. I think she sees it as a way of making a living, and I think you have to love it more than that for it to come out on you as a character and stuff like that. And also, yeah, I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. Edge just retire, man. It's embarrassing now. I don't know. He certainly looks like it, but then I didn't think it was that bad a show.
No, he looks grand. He can still do everything. Still extremely popular. So
Yeah, the thing about this, the problem with Jericho, Keith, is everyone says that and everyone goes. I think at times Jericho's look and the way he lets himself go and all. I think part of it is him internally just working the internet community. Because it seems when he wants to, he can get into great shape again, and he can go and he can be this character and that character and all, and reinvent himself and stuff like that. I mean, he's probably the most successful pro wrestler ever in terms of reinventing himself, I would say. I think like the way he's able to come back and just move into these different characters and stuff like that and all, and but still keep that kind of level of performance and stuff. Obviously when we get the out of shape, don't care kind of Chris Jericho, it's a different kind of story. But when you look how many times he's gone back to WWE, you look at some of the stuff early days in AEW and the stuff he's done in Japan and all, like it's like, there's a lot in there still, you know what I mean? So we shall see. Keith, she'll never be on the same level as Becky, Rhea, or Charlotte. Yeah, but that's okay. But that doesn't necessarily make her overrated, and it doesn't necessarily make her a poor wrestler. It just means that this is the cream of the crop up here, and anything under that, you know what I mean? Like no one's coming on here saying Bianca's a bad wrestler. No one's coming on here saying Roxanne Perez is a bad wrestler, They may not be on the level of Becky, Rhea, and Charlotte either, Romy, but they're still good wrestlers. You know what I mean? So it's but absolutely. 100%.
I'd argue that she's Mercedes is better than Charlotte when Charlotte doesn't care. When it can't be arsed Charlotte wrestling, she's the worst women's wrestler on the roster. I think she's much better than that. But all the four horsewomen were all good. They all had their own individual things that they were very good at.
I think what you said, there's some wrestlers out there that when they don't care, they can still put on a performance. If they've an axe to grind or they're not happy with the company, they still go out there and give you that 4.5 stars or whatever it is. Then there's other wrestlers, when they fall out like that, they don't care. It really manifests itself in the ring, and there's a little bit of shithousery to it, really.
Yeah.
An element of unprofessionalism nearly comes through,
And it's noticeable as well from a viewer's perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. Had him on the edge of the seat, Copeland's. I keep both of them needs to go.
Jericho and Ric Flair.
Probably book Edge defeating Moxley, then Christian cashing in his shot to screw Edge at the end of Revolution pay-per-view.
I have a feeling that could be exactly what's going to happen, because Christian still has that contract and he's still looming, and Edge beat him for the TNT Championship.
Yeah, spot on there, Romy, as well. Go on, far away.
I was just saying, because he beat him for the TNT Championship in Toronto, he'll probably want revenge, and I know it won't be for the title, but I would love to see another match between them. I really enjoyed the hardcore match, and I really enjoyed the I Quit match as well. I think Christian's just absolutely electric. He's
absolutely
so good.
You're spot on there, Robbie. Jay White there's so much that guy has to offer, and again, this is kind of what we're leaning on with the Death Riders and stuff like that, and all. They're really dampening down some of the real great talent that's in there. So Bruce 1-0 up against Atlanta.
He's become Jay Shite from hanging around with the Death Riders.
Yeah.
I like him a lot, though.
I say nothing in Ricky Starks. Edge is right. He is like a Rock ripoff.
Is that even his name, though? Because WB trademarked a bunch of inhuman names that bullies and nerds and like coming of age high school movies from the 70s have, and there is unfortunately every chance that one of them could be Ricky Starks. So I don't know.
Can we safely say Moxley will be in a wheelchair when he hits 50, maybe even sooner?
I don't think so. I think I heard him say in an interview that he has like the arthritis of a 50-year-old or something like that. He has the arthritis of someone that's significantly older than he is. So I don't know. The Rock debuts in NXT back to do the job. I don't know. Well, the fact they keep saying who he is and presenting him like a big deal initially makes me think he's not going to job. And he can go in rings. I don't know, but we'll see.
Timeless Tony versus May is the best story in wrestling. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Tony Storm's character work is just fantastic.
Without Tony Storm, that women's division fails.
I don't know.
There's a decent debatable point, I think, but there is a lot in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of talented women in there, with or without Tony Storm.
Jeez, have Atalanta just showed up with no talent at all, or what's going on? Look at Isla Dawn. She wins the tag titles in Scotland, then gets the boot. Rightfully so. She's boring as fuck.
Yeah, I don't wish Amy to get fired, but she was the Spitfire. No, what were they called? Were they the Spitfire Warriors? Or no, I'm thinking of
no, they were
Chance and they're cabbages as well.
Was it something Union?
Unholy Union.
Was that what it was called? I think so. Something like that. Yeah,
they were just.
Now that's a perfect example of winning titles on your hometown. Like
that. Now that was very much done for the home crowd.
Yeah,
God.
Absolutely. Timeless Tony versus Mercedes. Title versus title should be next.
Mm.
Interesting.
Where do they do it though? Revolution, or should they save it for a bigger show like Wembley? Or I think they're going to Australia next year again. I don't know if it's going to be the indoor place or if they're going to try run the stadium again. But
Well, the sensible one would be to build towards Arlington, wouldn't it?
I'd assume so. Yeah. Oh yeah,
That's what.
that's the next big one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think that's gonna? Well,
do you think it's going to
yeah.
remain in location?
God, yeah,
This is the doing it Tony Khan, just messing people around.
yeah. No,
Hotels here, there, and everywhere, and no one cares. Like,
I'd hope so, because that seems like a really fun show.
I enjoyed the NBA All Stars game instead of Grand Slam Australia. It was good, and I tell you, Bailey's a bit of a shooter, isn't she? When it comes to basketball, I've seen her knock in a few hoops already.
She was there for some reason.
Absolutely. When do you think we get a return in AEW?
A return of who?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
you would assume the next one's probably Cedric Alexander, is it?
Yeah, hurting people.
I would assume.
That's not a return though. That'd be more a debut. So I don't know. Is there anyone? Is there anyone on the injury list? Like anyone significant? There's probably loads. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head, but
too sure.
Have to see.
Not too sure. The Bucks are defo up there with the great tag teams. Just facts. No one can ever touch them, especially their indie days.
I know.
I used to love all that being the elite stuff and all. I used to like it, but it got a bit jaded after a while, didn't it?
Yeah.
And they kind of got a little bit lazy as well in what they do and stuff like that. The in-ring stuff became a little bit sort of predictable and tragic at times. Originally, they were very good.
The Bucks for me are about as stiff as not stiff, as heatless as frozen bread. My God, the EVP gimmick was atrocious, and apparently they said like we intentionally, like as the EVP gimmick, we intentionally had bad matches. I'm like, you fucking didn't. You're just shite. And I was at Wembley, and there was just as much people going to the toilet for the Bucks match as there was the Jericho match.
Yeah.
There's literally a discussion on Twitter saying, "Do you want to all go to the toilet during during Jericho's entrance?" Like I was seeing things on Twitter. Hey, everyone, I'm at Wembley. They're setting up drums. That means it's Jericho's next, so you can take toilet break in like ETA 5 minutes, 10 minutes, stuff like that. My God, I don't know.
I don't know, Fernando. That will be a hot take for me at the moment.
But the thing with the Bucks, it's go away heat. But it's not even like, oh my God, I hate them. I want them away. It's just like I don't care. I don't want to see them.
And I don't think it does them well to turn around and go, we intentionally had bad matches. That's worse than just going out and having a bad match.
Yeah.
That means you could have done much better and you could have put in more effort, but you just didn't bother. So like now we're gonna hate you for real.
Yeah, and they're just not like they're naturally unlikable. So naturally you think, oh, we'll just make them heels. But even as heels, it's not even that they're not likable in a way that you want to boo them, you want to see them get beat up. You just get so disinterested in seeing them. You don't want to see them, you don't care to see them. You don't feel like they bring any value. That's how I feel with the Bucks. I think they're so far gone for me at this stage. The EVP gimmick was so bad. 2 stinker matches in Wembley 2 years in a row. Once against FTR and then against FTR and the Acclaimed. And both just totally underdelivered, totally fell flat with the crowd. Absolutely. That's not a CM Punk problem. You know, that's a you problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Vengeance Day. I know Rollme's going to enjoy this because I know he's a big Stephanie Vaquer fan and stuff like that and all, and it was pretty good. I'm not even sure if Mercedes Moné is the best women's wrestler in AEW, near alone in the world.
In AEW?
I don't think so. Charlotte cares more for the plastic surgery. Just don't strike a match beside her.
Oh my
Darby
God.
Allin still walking is a miracle.
Yeah. He's doing Everest, so you know that could still be. You know, you might have to redact that because he's probably not going to be walking much longer.
Ricky Starks will always be a job boy for WWE.
You know, he hasn't even started yet. Come
on. I hope Marty Scurll makes a return.
God, no. How he still gets work is unbelievable.
Where is he at the moment? Puerto Rico?
He's doing Puerto Rico, and I heard he got booked for some indie in Canada.
Sweden, Scandinavia or something like that.
He's doing mostly like South America And I saw he got booked by like some indie in Canada, and obviously everyone absolutely fucking shat on it, saying like, "How is this guy still getting work?" And like, why do you care more about someone who did this than your paying customers and all this? And I don't know. It's
Yeah,
really,
it's
and
a,
I liked Marty Skrull a lot. He was really talented, and it's a
that
shame that his career went the way it did.
that villain gimmick was unbelievable, and when he entered into the Bullet Club and all, that was just insane,
Yeah,
insane.
I
I was in MSG for the G1 climax, and his entrance was just incredible.
I
Incredible.
learned his theme on piano because you know the way it started with the F and then going up the octave, the F and then the B flat.
Yeah,
I learned how to play that and I loved it. But no, what he did was terrible, and the fact that, well, I mean, like the fact he got work in Puerto Rico, but the fact that he's still getting work, and that a lot of promoters and a lot of wrestlers are like refusing to work with him and stuff, would that
yeah,
not be enough of a sign that he's probably not? And they say controversy creates cash. There's like a controversial star appearing on this, and you go, oh my god, I might actually have to watch that. But then there's, you know, the wrong kind of controversy. That's what Marty Skrull has. So
you
yeah,
want controversy that gets you to tune in, not controversy that gets you to
yeah,
tune out. Because then
absolutely, yeah.
controversy doesn't create cash and
And
stuff like that.
sadly, Marty Skrull brings the latter.
And it's a shame as well because when that stuff came out and stuff like that, and again out there and stuff like that, everyone knows the story and stuff like that. But he was such at the peak,
Yeah,
like he was fire. You know, some of those shows, some of those matches he had, even when he did that entrance in the Tivoli, like it was just
yeah.
the place. Just it gave you chills. Your hair stood up on your
With the
arm.
umbrella and the
Well, and the
plague
plague
doctor's
doctor's
mask.
mask and the
Yeah,
top hat and the jacket and like it was just phenomenal, like really phenomenal.
I remember when I first went to America, I went to Hot Topic, and they had a shitload of Bullet Club merch, like including Marty Skrull merch, and I bought most of it. They even
Yeah.
had like little socks with every Bullet Club member on it. So they had one for the main Bullet Club, they had one for the Bucks, one for Cody, one for Marty Skrull. I can't remember who else they had, but like,
Yeah.
it was really cool. But it's very disappointing. But I feel more sympathy for the girl, the victim, than I do for Marty Skrull, and I feel a bit sad for myself. But then again, I don't think any of us would have been fans of him or support him if we knew. So I don't think we should feel embarrassed or ashamed. But it sucks. But no, he shouldn't be. And TNA already were on pretty icy ground, bringing back Tessa Blanchard, and I think, and she's kind of proved herself. She had that match with Jordan Grace that was great, but I don't think Marty Skrull can do that.
Yeah. She also had quite an interesting crowd reaction when she came back as well. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And crowd can burn you very quickly, Absolutely, Stephanie and really, unbelievable. It's next level stuff. And Rolmy called it at the time when these became free agents and just get them in there and stuff like that. And just they both just look the business. They look like and stuff like that and all.
I've said on a couple of shows that I never got back into NXT since they shot Black and Gold in the back of the head. But this was a really good card, and it was on at 11 rather than 12 or 1. So I said, you know what, I'll check it out. And worst case, if it's shite, I can just turn it off. I ended up watching the whole thing and really enjoying it. Top to bottom, I thought this is a really good card. And Stephanie Vacour, I'll be honest, I had not seen her wrestle maybe one match in AEW and then the Rumble, which you can't really shine on your own because that's a 30-woman match.
Yeah.
This is my first time seeing her properly, and I believe the hype. She's absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's just it's really, really good. And even her even the other day, even when something doesn't go exactly right, her powers of recovery are really good as well. And it's great to see that as well,
Yeah.
The Shield 2.0.
I actually really like their presentation. The way the lights go in the crowd, showing them all standing there, and then the lights go out, and then they're in the ring. And that power bomb that they have, they kind of toss, release, and then catch them into the power bomb, actually looks far more devastating than the triple power bomb ever did.
Sick. It was sick.
Because there's height to it. Yeah, height and whiplash.
And the fact that it was Obafemi as well, who's a monster. These guys are throwing this guy around like a rag doll. This guy is a giant. You know what I mean? So
it was interesting,
But what do you think? Let's run down through. What was you thinking? Overall,
overall, really, really enjoyed it. I will say it was not like up to the highs of Black and Gold, but I'm okay with that now. I've kind of accepted Black and Gold was a beautiful thing
Yeah.
that's in the past, and the focus is on the new young talent, and new young talent are evidently absolutely capable. This is a really, really fun show. I think I'm going to be hooked on NXT again. We talked about Fallon Henley and Stephanie Vacour. Fraxium against Yoshiki Inamura and Josh Briggs. I knew that Josh Briggs did stuff with him in Noah when he went on his excursion there, but I wasn't I hadn't seen him wrestle. He was great. And Fraxium are absolutely electric. I'd say they're probably one of the best tag teams on the planet right now. Nathan Frazier or Ben, oh God, what was his old name? Was it Ben Foster or Froster or something like that? God, I can't even remember. But he was always great. And Axiom, when he was a kid, I know him like from OTT and NXT UK, has always been supremely talented. So putting them together was such a great idea. And Josh Briggs, I think the excursion has done really well. Yoshiki Inamura is incredible.
Such an interesting tag team.
And the thing is, NXT, and I hate to keep bringing up Black and Gold because it's in the past, but Black and Gold and NXT's strength was tag team wrestling.
Very much.
And I feel with teams like Nathan Frazier and Axiom and Yoshiki Inamura and Josh Briggs that's kind of still alive and well. So this was a really, really strong match. And I would hope that we can see, we'll definitely see Josh Briggs again. I would love if Yoshiki Inamura was around still. I'm not sure what the connections are with Noah, if they're as friendly, as they would be with like TNA, where you can have just random people show up every week, but we'll see.
Yeah, certainly interesting. And certainly we know that WWE at the moment is putting that hand out there to make these connections and stuff like that at the moment. So it should be interesting. Great show, Acers. Next new faction that debut on Saturday night reminds me of Retribution debut.
Oh, they're so much better than Retribution.
Yeah, absolutely.
Teabag, Slapjack, Bevel, Sausage, Cordless Electrical Screwdriver, Aluminium, and all the lads. I think Adam Blampy had said that they looked like a primary school production of the IRA. I couldn't get that out of my head. And my God, great talent. A lot of the people in there were all very talented, but they were sabotaged. They were set to fail, doomed to fail. So. But it was so funny, just coming down the ring with the pipes, and oh my God, it's Retribution, it's Retribution. Oh my God, it was so funny.
Real schoolyard stuff.
Like when I was watching at the time, I was like, "This is terrible." But looking back on it, I can just laugh so much because it was. And the worst thing is, they had different members every week. Yeah, it wasn't the same people until they revealed the names, and
it was like they were testing the water, wasn't it? It was like there was a backstage competition going on.
Yeah. And as soon as I heard Slapjack, that was it. I knew they hadn't a flaming chance in hell.
Chance in hell, yeah.
No.
Yeah. Good shout, Romy. Yeah, the rock star, absolutely.
Yeah, she's not charismatic.
No.
I'm saying compared to The Rock and also compared to everyone on that roster, she's just not good. Yeah. I would say, I was the same. Watch it with fresh eyes. You're not just don't expect Black and Gold NXT. Just expect, young up and comers mixed in occasionally with like the main roster people like Austin Theory, Grayson Waller, and Bailey, and you'll enjoy it because it's a different look, but the wrestling is still very strong.
Yeah, it's a wrestling show, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a wrestling show, and I think even there at the end, you seen that pic there with Jordan Grace in the ring with the two girls and stuff like that. That's a cool moment. That is a cool moment.
Absolutely,
yeah. Trick Williams is main roster bound after WrestleMania and the draft.
I'd more than presume. So
yeah, I would have thought so as well. Yeah, not far off. Yeah, there was a lot to like about it. I thought the Alba Femi stuff, a lot of it was kind of set up for the four boys to come out and absolutely tear people apart, but it was kind of cool. The strap match was kind of fun.
Yeah, I much prefer when it's just a strap and they don't have to tap four corners.
Yeah,
that is such bollocks. Like, have to do a game of tag mixed up with a really personal feud. But when it's just a wrestling match that also has a strap that can be used as a weapon, I think that's much better. and Eddie Thorpe winning this was a bit of a shock. I was pretty certain it was going to be Trick Williams, but it adds to Eddie Thorpe's I was going to say arseholeness.
Stock.
Yeah, stock of being an arsehole.
Yeah.
That works. So yeah, but WB needs to differentiate between a strap match where there's a strap and you have to win by whatever, or a strap match where you have to use the strap and also win a game of tag.
Yeah,
I don't one or the other, not both. Preferably just the strap, because like imagine like a really intense feud, me and you in a strap match, and I'm gonna hit the 4 turnbuckles after I do that, and that'll make me like victorious and supreme. It doesn't. Yeah, I don't know, but that doesn't take away from this match. This was really, really strong. More money back with Jim Cornette. Oh yeah. What convention was it? I can't remember what it was, but Santino and Jim Cornette like had an argument there. It was so funny.
Yeah, I don't think old Jim. I don't think he's been a fan of Santino all along. Anyway, so it's kind of like it's
Becky.
Yeah.
What would I wonder what Santino in full gimmick would call Jim Cornette? You know the way he called John Cena like John Cena.
Yeah. It'd be interesting, or certainly interesting. It's a weird one with Cornette as well, isn't it? Because he's kind of like, we kind of love listening to him and we love stuff and things like that and all. But I think the whole Trump thing hits him hard, doesn't it? And it kind of knocks him out of kilter a little bit, kind of like, because he's so enraged and fulfilled in hate. These things, you know? It's hard sometimes to see the wood from the trees, but yeah, Santino. So a big fan of his sister as well, Santina.
Oh yeah,
I was at Mania 25 for that. I had to endure it. There you go.
Sorry. So you had to endure the Miss WrestleMania Battle Royal and that main event in one night. I think you're a masochist, honest to God.
Yeah,
that main event does not get enough abuse.
Be careful these days in America now. If Santino did that these days, Trump might throw him out.
That's the worst thing. Yeah, he's thrown out for being an Italian living in America. He probably thinks.
He called Cornette the old bullseye host.
Jim Bowen.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, there's nothing in this game for curtain jerking in the performance center.
I says I don't even want to talk about what Liverpool are talking about in terms of transfers and all. I don't believe any of it. Hopefully, NXT and TNA stand on the Liver pay-per-view. Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully, that bullseye thing is making me. Russo, keep out of the black and in the red. Nothing in this game for two in a bed.
It's back again, isn't it? Freddie Flintoff presents it, and the prizes are still as bad. It's only short of giving away Walkmans and all.
They're modern. I think, they brought it back for Christmas for a one-off. I don't know if is it coming back for a series, like a proper?
I don't know. I'm not too sure, but what was it there? Like they were giving away like Ninja air fryers and stuff. Okay, it's not a kettle of toast.
Yeah, like Ninja air fryers, like tickets to the darts, signed Luke Hitler dart set.
Yeah.
What else? Remote control cat. That was an actual prize on the old Bullseye.
Power bank.
Yeah. And do you ever see Bullseye? Like one really old ones. He was interviewing one of the girls, like who's contestant. And he goes, "And tell us, you're on a sponsored Slim." He's like, "Yeah." And then he goes, "How much do you owe?"
It's mad when you look back on it, and the innuendo and everything that went on now. There would be like how there hasn't been. You know the way they've investigated all these old shows.
Yeah,
had to be shenanigans back then on Bullseye. Something had to be going on.
Some of his jokes were just like horrendous. I remember he got a lad, and the lad like legit got pissed off, but he's like, "So you're from Dis, like a place somewhere in England?" And he goes, "And what do you do?" And he goes, "I'm a shopkeeper." "A shopkeeper? And do you often deal with dissatisfied customers?" And the guy was like, "That's not funny." And he goes, "No. It's dissatisfied." And there's another time where like he was met someone and their surname was Fox. He goes, "I knew a fox once. He made a mint." And he looks out to the crowd, and the crowd are just like,
what?
Very awkwardly laughing. I love it though. It's God. I miss Jim Bowen so much. Yeah.
I used to love watching Bullseye, and then they'd have to do homework, but it'd always get me then that Monday, that Sunday into Monday blues of going back to school for another week.
the worst feeling ever.
Yeah, it was that. I used to watch. Usually, we used to have to endure Bullseye, and then I think what was after that, Glen Rowe or something like that.
What do you
And all
mean?
of
What
it.
do you mean endure?
Well, like when you
Yeah,
look back on it now, you're thinking, now you look at it now and you laugh. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It just feels weird.
It was super smashing great.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Right, let's talk Raw. We did say this could be a belter of an episode based on what we knew last week on the show.
Mm.
And it certainly delivered, didn't it?
Did it? I thought
Mm.
it was okay. It could
I,
just being so I was dead tired staying up for it, but man, I don't know.
no, I enjoyed it. There was a lot to enjoy about this on a number of levels and stuff like that. I was
Yeah.
very happy for Dakota Kai
Mm.
picking up the win. And then going on to face Lyra, which is kind of really, really cool because we're rolling it back there, really,
Yeah. I
Styles
just feel
versus Dominic, I thought was cool. I love the way Carlito did the interference, then drops down behind the apron and he's just eating the apple there, and the ref's just looking down. Going, what?
yeah.
It was pretty cool as well.
It could just be for me the impending sense of dread that John Cena won't win the Elimination Chamber, and it's
Well,
wanting me to just get straight to the Elimination Chamber now, so we can have it and like enjoy it, and we don't have to. So it feels
yeah.
like everything from now until then's a bit filler, but no, it was a good episode. It was a good episode.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoyed it. I thought Penta and Pete Dunne was very good as well.
Yeah, not great for Penta though, because he's already beaten Pete Dunne, and Pete Dunne's hardly being presented as like credible or anything at the minute. So it's still good. Hopefully it changes for Pete Dunne.
Then we had an interesting New Day segment laying down the gauntlet to the LWO, which was interesting.
Someone was like, I saw someone doing a review of the show. I think it was Ollie Davis from Wrestle Talk, and he said the LWO, the three members of the LWO who aren't Rey Mysterio, and bonus points if you can name them all without looking it up.
which is terrible, really.
Yeah, but like what is their purpose apart from
keeping the LWO alive and kicking?
Yeah, the nostalgia. The nostalgia aspect is the only thing they have going for them. And Ray, I think other than that, they'd be, as Buff Egan says, they'd be Red Raw useless.
Yeah.
I love Buffy.
Big win for Roxanne Perez against Raquel Rodriguez.
She looked really good. I think she needs a showcase in the Elimination Chamber match more than Raquel does. I think she's a better fit for it. And Judgment Day are really boring at the minute. So great for Roxanne. I don't think Raquel is probably the easiest person to work with to show herself off, but I'm sure in the chamber she'll probably give a really good performance and a good show herself, because that's what Tiffany Stratton did. I think the initial buzz with her in the main roster really started when she did so well. So well in the chamber last year. So if Roxanne does something like that, I think she could go well up the card.
Yeah, and it's interesting. We look at the Elimination Chamber now in a second. We get people's predictions on it as well. What do they think is going to happen? And then we rounded out with Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor, Elimination Chamber qualifying match, and obviously Seth Rollins picking up the win. Yeah. What did you make of the match?
Very good back and forth match. Good main event. If poor El Fergie D won the lotto tomorrow, he still won't be able to buy a win. And I feel his time as being like a serious main eventer. A, as long as he keeps losing, and B, as long as he keeps his Judgment Day, the ship has left the harbor a long, long, long time ago, and I don't think it's coming back. But at the same point, this is great for Seth. I think the lineup for the men's chamber now is really, really strong. And I think it would have been strong with Finn. It would have been strong with Seth. It's good when I think there's two really good options here with Finn and Seth. When you're happy with either of them going in, it shows that the lineup is really, really good. So hopefully it delivers. I'm not sure where Finn is going now. I don't know how much longer Jordan is going to be out. A couple months, considering he almost died, probably a little while. But I know Dominic's trying to bring in a new member of Judgment Day. I'm not sure who that is. I'm not sure where that's going. But if it does happen, I hope Finn becomes the prince with his old music and his old entrance and everything, because he needs to get away from Judgment Day. he needs to win some matches. He needs to get back on top. He needs to get back to the stage where you and I and everyone like who has followed him at any point in his career knows he can get to. Yeah, but this was a really good way to end the show. It's good that we finally had the lineup for the Elimination Chamber so we can discuss it and analyze it. But this is a good way to end the show for another pretty good episode of Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, it's mad to think. And I thought this was a really good match between both lads as well, because in the past they've had a couple of matches that were kind of suspect, but this one knitted together really, really well. And of course, congratulations to Finn as well. 10 years in WWE, which is, a long time in there, the way that business moves and stuff like that. And especially if you're not 6'6" and jacked to the gills, like you know what I mean?
I remember when he signed and like when he was in NXT. It's crazy to think he's still with us.
I remember him popping into the shop and telling me he was on the way.
Oh, really?
And I couldn't say anything.
God, and I remember where I was when OTT's Scrapmania show. They showed a little teaser, just showing everything, and then him and Jordan popped up on the screen, and the place went absolutely mental.
But and then getting to see him from the documentary when he came out at the Tivoli and he couldn't wrestle, obviously, because he was recovering. But they were doing a big documentary on him and stuff. That documentary they did between him and Seth and stuff like that was really, really cool. And how gnarly it was that both of them getting injured and stuff like that, and all was crazy. But yeah, it was cool. But I remember the day he came in. He goes, "How's it going?" And I said, "How are you?" And he goes, I laughed. I said, because he was going around on the indie scene. He was doing the kind of Joker stuff and all that kind of stuff, and all really cool. And I think he did. Did he do a Nightmare on Elm Street as well or something? Like he did a bunch of things on the indie scene. And when he came into me, I said, "I guess you're off to the big time now, are you?" And he goes, "Couldn't say that, but yeah, it was cool. It was a cool moment. I was absolutely delighted for him,
Yeah, no, he said.
Yeah, it is. I think you're right. I think the longer this goes on, I don't think it gets to a stage where you can't rediscover your stock and stuff like that and all. But I don't know. Maybe it needs a kick from the demon or something.
Yeah, and it's not an indictment of him as a performer.
Absolutely,
it's an indictment of how he's been booked.
And it was weird. Like the pedigree in the match was kind of a cool moment because it was a kind of tip the hat really to H, because these two boys are H's boys,
A tip the hat to H and say, please let me win a match. If I do your finisher, really let me win a match.
Yeah, there was a lot of kickouts in this, wasn't there, from legitimate finishers as well?
Yeah.
Like, why are you kicking out of that, like, boy?
So probably doesn't help the stock of the pedigree, but then again, Finn doesn't do pedigree, so it's not like Triple H hit it and he got kicked out of. Tuxedo versus Jim Duggan. Jesus, yeah. How hot must that be to wrestle in a tuxedo? I can't imagine what it'd be like.
Yeah, he didn't wrestle in it anymore. Then he was in the black trunks. Remember? Do you think a tag match or championship at Chamber? They confirm. They're confirming a couple of matches.
They'll probably churn out someone for DIY to wrestle. I just hope the crowd will be a bit more into it than they were for their last match.
Yeah. It was interesting as well at the end of the AJ match, the Braun Breaker interference where he went to spear him and he hit Dominic. Dominic is so good at the moment as well, isn't he? Some of the stuff he does is just cool. That one where he slides out of the ring and he just does the double biceps like this and all.
Yeah.
He's so funny. Like
he's got great heat, but saying that, I am really, really interested in AJ Styles versus Braun Breaker. I presume that's for Chamber, and if not for Chamber, WrestleMania maybe.
It's going to culminate in some sort of a ladder match for the IC belt, isn't it? Because there's a lot of people sniffing around it, and he's making an awful lot of enemies at the moment because he seems to be on the end of spearing people nearly every week at this stage.
Yeah,
we have AJ back as well with that hairy chest and all, which is normally heel AJ.
I know. I don't know what he's up to.
Yeah,
Karrion Kross. I'm actually quite interested in the direction Karrion Kross is going in now. The way he's trying to manipulate people, and I see him in interviews. He's unbelievably, and unbelievably cool, very well spoken, great charisma, and really intelligent. And it's really unfortunate that doesn't typically come across on screen.
If they do go with that Aces triple threat, Cody, Jacob, and Solo, it obviously leads to Jacob and Solo parting ways. I would imagine that would be the story of it. Again, the belt and Cody being secondary to the story. I would imagine if that's the route they go, based on what we're seeing building up at the moment. I did see. I don't know if you've seen that video of Jacob Fatu with the boogeyman, and he was recording him. It
I
was
did, yeah.
it was a cool moment. It was a good. I love sometimes when not new wrestlers, but when the likes of Jacob Fatu wrestlers like that come in and they're blown away by guys like that. And you can see with Jacob Fatu that he's taking little bits of the boogeyman into his character and stuff and all.
Yeah,
So it's
Boogeyman
kind of
and
cool.
Maga.
It's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
What a combination, eh? What
yeah.
a
God,
combination.
love the Boogeyman.
But
Lot of
yeah,
time.
I wouldn't be upset with that triple threat, but I think it would be more about a parting of the ways with the two boys than it would be. I think the title and Cody would be secondary in that one. When Jay beats Gunther, will he do a Rocky 4? If I can yeet, we all can yeet.
God, I don't know.
Expect huge things from Pat McAfee anyway. Pat McAfee's all in, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. God, I was looking when they panned back from Jey Uso when he was yeeting and the whole crowd was yeeting. Good Lord, it gave me that kind of Daniel Bryan yes thing.
Yeah,
It's like everyone in the place was doing it the other night. It was crazy.
it gets a little bit tiresome though. I
Yeah,
think
it's a bit
the
prolonged.
entrance especially.
Yeah, it gets a bit prolonged, all right. But God, the crowd are crazy for it. And you know something that's weird because when you're there live, you don't have the commentary and all, and you're not waiting and kind of stuff. So it probably doesn't feel as long when you're there because you're engrossed in it. You know that kind of way.
And I say that I saw Jay in Belfast last year. We all did and it was a lot of fun. So obviously it's something that comes across much better if you're actually in the arena than you are.
Vince to join the Judgment Day and say it was me, Janelle.
Jesus Christ.
Oh God. Charges on Vince McMahon have been dropped. Are we saying that? Yeah.
Have they?
Yeah, the Fed have given up their investigation. Apparently, it's all done.
Oh yeah. Okay, I saw that.
Which was obviously. I'm not saying it was going to be the big one, but obviously this was the one that was holding back all the other stuff that has to go through now.
Yeah, the Janelle Grant stuff is still very much being investigated, though, as far as I understand. So
yeah. I told you that guy was the Shawn Michaels of the Usos. He certainly was. Certainly is. Absolutely, without a
Shawn
doubt.
Michaels could have good singles matches on his own, though. So that remains to be seen with Jey Uso.
Yeah, do you find sometimes the build-ups overshadow the delivery then and stuff like that, or are we just judging them based on the Mania match last year?
It's both, but in fairness to Jay, saying that, I actually really liked the match he had with Gunther at Saturday night's main event not that long ago. Whether or not they can have as good of a match at Mania, considering they've already wrestled each other twice, I don't know. We'll have to see, but I'm hopeful. But I'm more hopeful that John Cena wins the men's chamber. I think that's a good segue.
Yeah, I still can't get over. And call me old-fashioned if you want. I know all these hipsters are going around like this now, but I find it weird when I see men without socks and slip-on shoes. It just seems weird to me.
Yeah, it's terrible. It was frowned upon back in my day.
Yeah,
it's still frowned upon now. I don't know.
Yeah,
slip-on shoes.
Back in my day, you would have been nearly regarded as poor if that's how you went out.
Yeah.
Go.
Like the point of slip-on shoes is like you don't have to wear socks and you're comfy and protected with just the shoes.
Yeah.
So why have? I don't know.
Yeah, we have a couple of matches for WrestleMania anyway so far. So we'll keep slide as we go along. But this money I've invested in this Vegas trip
to see Charlotte win whatever it is she's on, 26 probably.
Absolutely. Let's get into the chamber then. Let's get your predictions, folks, in the chat now. Drop your predictions for the men's and women's chamber. What way do you see it going? Let us know. Triple H, I'm back. You're fired. Don't think that's going to happen. Cody versus Cena versus Orton at WrestleMania 41. Orton takes the pin, keeping Cody strong.
Well, why would it be Orton unless Orton came back? Or Cena unless Cena wins the chamber?
Well, Cena's at the level now where he can just obviously inject himself into a match, apparently.
Mm.
And
But
he
I
doesn't.
prefer I prefer if he won something first to get into a match. But I understand. Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of after the Rumble when he gave that little speech backstage at the presser. Yeah, I kind of like the way he just injects himself into stuff because he was kind of saying it's going to be all about me now. I've been a company man for 20 years, and so it kind of fits with that. And the way he was getting up and Punk was selling it that it got up his nose that he was just in there, and stuff like that. So it kind of works. Kind of works. There's
Yeah.
little levels and stuff like that, so it's kind of cool.
Absolutely.
Romy's going for Tiffany getting the golden shovel at WrestleMania 41 for the plastic action plan.
Yeah.
That will be our summary of that match.
It's pretty bleak, isn't it?
Oh, I tell you, I'll have to find the golden shovel while I'm over there and video call you.
Yeah. Charlotte Hogan.
There you
That's right.
go. Vince returns, WWE Network returns. That ain't happening.
No.
There's 5 billion reasons why that ain't gonna happen.
I like Netflix, honestly.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
They've done well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not all the content's up there yet, though.
Cena and his bald spot. Just shave the hair, mate. For fuck's sake.
Ah. Leave him alone.
I wonder would he get away with going flat top? Like Nicholson got away with a flat top in A Few Good Men, didn't he?
Yeah,
And
or
he
if
was
he.
bald.
Well, John Cena is many people, but he's not Jack Nicholson.
Mm.
Or just do the buzz cut again.
Yeah.
Nothing on the sides, everything on the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, treat this retirement tour with respect. And also, John, show up to work. Did you see that sign? I think it was on last week's Raw. Someone held up a picture of John Gina, and it said "Show up to work."
Yeah.
Because he hasn't been anywhere since the Rumble, and he's probably not going to be anywhere until the Chamber.
Didn't they came out and announced he's on the European tour?
He's on part of it, and it's for televised. So I think he's going to be in Glasgow, London, and Brussels. Yeah. And if you have a kidney to sell, then obviously you'd be able to get a nosebleed ticket.
Yeah, I see a guy put up a picture the other day. He was in is it Hungary where he's based at the moment doing that movie?
Yeah.
Cena? He was in a restaurant the other night and Cena was in the restaurant. He got a picture with him. Some restaurant in Hungary, obviously, I presume. And it looked pretty cool. Looked pretty cool.
God.
Cena
I saw someone, I think Sabrina Carpenter, and this is mad segue, I promise, but it works. Sabrina Carpenter is playing in Glasgow, and WWE tickets are more expensive for the Raw in Glasgow, which is so bleak. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Especially if, like me, you've never seen your GOAT John Cena in the flesh and you want to. And now you can't.
I remember when we used to go on some of the trips, like to the States, and you'd pick up a ticket for Raw or SmackDown for like $30-40.
Yeah.
Those were the days.
I'm very worried next time they come to Dublin. The prices are going to be.
Right, folks, let us know who you going with. Who you nailing your flag to? Who are you going with? Give us your
I am going to nail my flag to John Cena.
Okay.
But partially in the ground because I know he can't win a match to save his life as of recently. So I'll put it in the middle between John Cena and CM Punk. And then for the women's, well, hopefully Cena though, if I had a choice. And then for the women's, I'm thinking probably Bianca Belair.
Okay.
Just a guess, just a prediction.
What did you make of the storyline, the Jade Cargill one?
I think it was
how it's evolving. I thought the two girls looked brilliant the other night, in fairness.
Yeah, I have a feeling that it might have been Bianca who did it.
Oh, okay.
Jealous because she's getting all the shine, or maybe because she's like riding on her coattails or something. Or maybe it could have been Naomi because Jade Cargill, just came in and like Bianca's best friends with her and has kind of forgotten about Naomi and only started probably hanging around with Naomi once Jade Cargill was gone. I don't know. I think there will be a swerve, a Vince Russo swerve, where
it's actually the cake, bring her back ASAP.
There's actually revealed to be someone else, and then they join the Pure Fusion Collective. They're going to be the new NWO, but for women, everyone's going to join them.
There we go. Daz is in. He reckons Seth and Belair. I don't know. They are talking about the interesting thing though. They're talking about Roman, Seth, and Punk, aren't they, in a triple threat?
Mm.
And Logan Paul is quite vocal as well about his desire to get in there and mix it up with the likes of Cena and stuff like that as well. You
Christ, can you imagine him and Cena at Mania?
know? Imagine the heat.
Yeah, it'd be a match I want to see, but not at WrestleMania.
No, he gets great heat though, doesn't he, Logan Paul? He's fantastic.
A lot of people genuinely don't like him though.
I say they're saying Messi now. Did you say that over the energy drink?
Are they?
Yeah, because apparently Prime is one of the sponsors for Inter Miami, who Messi plays for. But Messi launched his own energy drink, so he's being featured with his own energy drink. And he should be getting featured with the Prime drink as part of the deal with Inter Miami. So apparently, Prime or Logan Paul, whoever, KSI, whoever you want to do it, apparently are planning on soon Lionel Messi over this, apparently. So that should be interesting.
I love the idea of them being in court and the lawyer wearing a Prime bottle, just like Speed did at WrestleMania or KSI did that.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
It will all be a work if John Cena won.
It'll be a work if anyone wins.
Yeah. It isn't real. Dazzler. When Jade returns, he will. He's a big Jade Cargill fan, I have to say. When we were at the Rumble when she debuted.
Do we think she's coming back? Like as soon as
Jade Cargill?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is she the one that reveals the real footage, the real story? You can imagine a moment there where she reveals the story and Bianca's there and Naomi's looking at Bianca like the disappointed sister.
They do an Enzo. They do it like Enzo and Cass's breakup. And
you slept with who?
Yeah.
You slept with who?
Such good shit, bro.
Yeah,
Logan Paul box my shopping, man. It's like men's body. Fucking hell. I don't even like Logan Paul. But that's a bit much.
Yeah, the promos from the two girls as well. It's so ghetto, isn't it? Girls,
yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
Oh God, I'd say imagine the two of them in a bar drunk. They'd probably be insufferable.
Jesus.
Logan Paul couldn't box my shopping. Man, it's like the men's Bonnie Blue.
Jeez, how?
Her husband has diabetes with all the cake. Be worth it. The last two will be CM Punk and John Cena.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And
if they're not the last two, at least have them face off.
And please, cameraman, don't miss Drew's tantrum if it happens. She returns after Chamber. Okay.
And if the cameramen miss it, the people in the crowd won't.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cena, and I'm gonna go with Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss?
Something out of left field.
Really?
Yeah, because there's no point in Liv.
No.
Roxanne is probably she'll as you say get that Tiffany Stratton type thing, but probably won't win.
Just landed here. So no.
Bailey's just a workhorse at the moment.
Yeah.
The two girls, are you saying, might be wrapped up in the Cargill situation. So Alexa might seem the obvious one to break out and start propelling herself towards it, maybe.
I would like Alexa. It's not as easy though, to predict the women's, but I heard this ages ago. I don't know if it's still happening, but there's implications Alexa's going to be involved with the Wyatt Six. So if we're going to get Wyatt Six Alexa or Spooky Alexa, I don't care, and I'd rather someone else win. But if that's not the case, then I'd be happy with Alexa winning.
Yeah,
but Liv doesn't need to be in this match, to be honest.
Yeah, what have you made of that Wyatt Six recently? I know is it Bo who has an injury or something like that, and
yeah, I think
it's kind of stalled everything, really, hasn't it?
Yeah, and it hasn't helped. I just hope they come back. Initially they were amazing, but they need to actually do something significant. I don't think they've done anything too I was going to say newsworthy. Well, noteworthy as well, but newsworthy. Recently, to the extent that they originally did when they came in the first time. So I don't know. I have to see. And rips Lily apart, and then doesn't invite her to the White Six and tells her to grow up. I'd be down for that.
There we go.
At your age.
What'd you make of this today? This was announced today, I think. WWE ID. They have they have the people that they want, and these are the two titles, and it's going to be interesting, isn't it?
They're
They love
yeah,
producing belts now, don't they?
very nice belts for the development brands. Probably not going to last a few years. I don't
They can
know.
leave the two belts over in Riyadh when they go over for Riyadh season. Put them
Yeah,
in there with the experience as well, probably.
God.
But they sure do like churning out belts. It's going to
Yeah.
be very interesting to see who they've selected. Have we heard anything yet, or is there any
I
leaks?
think, well, I remember they were teasing it and they would just post the person's eyes. So you just see them look up close to the camera and it'd just be like that. And I think people indicated that one of the first people they had was Timothy Thatcher.
Okay.
And I think like other people that got signed, like Jack Cartwheel got signed. God, I can't remember anyone else who got signed. But they have a good roster of people. Debbie Keitel might have got signed, and I only say that because she was at Fight Factory's anniversary show a couple months ago and said this is going to be like one of her last times wrestling in Ireland. So it was heavily implied she got signed. Whether that was ID or somewhere else, I don't know. But she had that match with Lyra, so I assume they would have heard that or cleared that. I've also heard, I don't know if it's for ID or to be signed generally, but WWE are apparently interested in Man Like Darius and Rio. Man Like Darius. They're both, Rio's great. Man Like Darius is an absolute star. You can strap a rocket to him and send him to the moon. And I got a picture of him at the last show. Lovely guy. So I could definitely see him being involved somehow if those rumors are true. But I don't know. I don't know how much it will affect like worldwide, because as far as I know, they're only really focusing on domestically now. So like just America, really.
Yeah.
America and around that area. And I think once they get that down, they can start looking to expand into other countries and other regions. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, hopefully it's successful anyway, and it keeps on going, and it gives other guys and girls an opportunity and stuff like that. Because it only benefits. I know it's more programming for us to absorb and all that kind of thing and all, but it's nice to see some of these guys and girls who we've seen on the indie scene or we've met through the grapevine, whatever way it is, and they're nice people and all that kind of stuff to go and be successful and have a career in this kind of thing.
Yeah. And who are we to complain when it's people we like and it's good quality?
Exactly. Hall of Fame, folks. What have we made? Michelle McCool. I thought it was kind of cool the other day, the video where H came on and he sort of got his own back on the two boys and stuff like that. We had posted the image up above first. That was put out there, I think about a week or two ago or something like that, maybe longer when we posted it. Triple H across front and center and stuff like that. Michelle to the left, well, my left. Not sure if it's everyone's left.
It's my right here.
Yeah, is this the Hall of Fame we're going to get? I was really happy as well to hear Demolition have signed a Legends deal as well, and obviously all that other stuff is being put away now. This concussion stuff, obviously the stuff that was going on with Axe and all, he was involved in that and all, which obviously was holding back, obviously Smash and stuff like that and all. But great to hear Demolition have signed a Legends deal, and of course I'd love to see Demolition going into the Hall of Fame.
I don't know if they'd go in as soon as this year, though.
Yeah, not maybe not necessarily this year, but this was the this was I mean, what do you make it? Do you think this is the Hall of Fame we're going to get? Looking at obviously the first two are there and they've come out there, the first two.
I always predict a few people in the Hall of Fame, but I never get the rest. But I'm gonna just, I think, speak with the people that are in the graphic here. Batista was meant to be inducted in, was it 2019 or 2020 or something like that?
The COVID one, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I can't remember. It might have been COVID, but I can't remember what happened. But for whatever reason, he wasn't able to attend. So they were planning on inducting him like at a later date. It's now 2025. So I would hope he'd finally get his dues.
Yeah, I'm not too sure on that, Romy. You know what I mean? We've seen a lot of people getting inducted into the Hall of Fame who have had very little effect really on pro wrestling and stuff like that. I think Michelle McCool has a career in pro wrestling.
Kid Rock is in there. Kid Rock and if they can get in, I can get in.
Yeah, and I think even the late cool stuff and all was fun at the time and stuff like that and all. It was good stuff.
Luna
know?
Luna Vachon was good. I remember actually watching Hell's Kitchen, and there's a guy on there. I can't remember what his name was, but he did really well in the competition. But his mother was actually Luna Vachon.
There you go.
Fun fact for you there. Bray Wyatt. I don't know if he would be brought in like as an inductee, or if he'd get like the Warrior Award. Is the thing Shaq Gaspard got the year
Um,
something like that maybe. I
okay.
can't. Yeah, I think he should be in there absolutely though, sooner
Yeah.
rather than later. Umaga the same. The
Mm.
Hardy Boys. I'm not sure what the deal with them is. If they show up or they want to mention them or show them, absolutely. But I remember Matt Hardy was offered it,
Mm.
and he said, "What about Jeff?" And he goes, and I think Jeff was gone at that time, so they
Yeah.
just said, "Oh no, it would just be you." And he's like, "Well,
I think at the time, I think Jeff was going through stuff, wasn't he? So
yeah," but he wasn't with the He wasn't with the company.
no, no.
And he said, "No, I'm not going in my own. Either I'm going in with Jeff, or I'm not going in at all." And they're like, "Oh well, we can't do that." So if they could figure that out, I think the Hardy Boys would absolutely be great. Umaga as well. They're not ignoring him anymore. It's very clear with Solo and Jacob that Marty
Mm.
Jannetty
Oh Lord.
versus his Hall of Fame speech
Yeah,
would
imagine.
be absolutely
Yeah, I think the Hardy Boys have to go in as the Hardy Boys.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I just think
Who inducts them? I'd say Lita maybe,
yeah.
or the Dudley Boys maybe.
The Dudley Boys could certainly induct them.
And then if let's assume it's going to be Bray Wyatt, Umaga, Batista, who's going to induct them?
Well, you would imagine Umaga would be
Roman maybe, or Paul Heyman, or anyone from the bloodline, including Tongloa.
Yeah, or a combination.
Batista, Rey Mysterio, maybe someone from Evolution like Randy Orton or Ric Flair, or
I think Batista'd want Randy, I'd say, or he'd want H.
Yeah,
I would imagine, So
then Bray Wyatt, I think I'd say maybe Braun Strowman, or
then you would imagine with Batista, would Batista not be a future headliner, because he was supposed to be the headliner for the Hall of Fame, wasn't he?
Was he?
I think.
I can't even remember. I stayed up for that Hall of Fame, and it was really depressing. And they had like the canned laughter. So the only person I remember going in there was JBL and someone else. There's loads more. I can't remember. But yeah. So I don't know if they would make him headliner 1 year, not do it, and then just have him in the shuffle. But then again, Triple H is the headliner. You're not going to overtake Triple H. Not when he's Triple H in WWE, and not when he's running the company, and he's the headliner. So I don't know. I will say though, it's always people who deserve it. But I think I saw someone say having Michelle McCool inducted in the Hall of Fame before
Michael Hayes to induct the Hardys is a great shout. Yeah, great shout.
Induct the Hardy. Oh yeah,
that's a good shout. Yeah. Who would induct Michelle McCool?
Unless they got Layla back, I'd say probably Undertaker.
Yeah.
American.
But you'd rather be inducted by, one of your peers, as in, someone you competed against, and, someone from your division, you know what I mean?
Not that there's anything wrong with Undertaker inducting Michelle, but yeah, as you say, it should be a peer. I don't know what Layla's story is. If they brought her back, even just like signed her for a contract,
because you would imagine the way things are panning out, that Hunter's induction is probably going to be a combination of Shawn and Taker, is it?
Oh, I haven't actually thought about him.
So I mean, Hunter's we're talking the obvious one obviously would be Steph, but I mean, I don't know.
I'd say more than out of those three you mentioned, I'd say the most likely one would probably be Shawn.
Yeah.
Shawn 4.
Yeah, but I mean, you could have a whole plethora of lads coming out there for H's induction, really,
Just get all the DX.
Yeah.
And including Hornswoggle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I think everyone in here, well, of the people that's been confirmed and of the people that we possibly think is going to be here, deserve to be there.
Yeah, I think so. I think it could be one of those Hall of Fames where you actually get 5 or 6 inductions of people who belong in the Hall of Fame. So, which would be refreshing. Triple H has to come out to My Time instead of Motorhead.
Yeah, honest to God, not just saying that My Time is a better theme than the game. God, it is so good. At that point, Triple H was like the best wrestler in the world. That team made him feel like the best. I think that was really... And if they can bring back the ECW team for Paul Heyman, they can absolutely bring back My Time for Triple H.
Ray or Chavo to induct Batista in honor of Eddie.
Oh yeah, that could be... I'd say Ray would probably be more likely of the two. But yeah, you could do... I mean, you could do Ray, you could do Chavo, you could do anyone from Evolution.
You know the way all these things have developed so well recently. Wouldn't it be cool if you could get like a hologram of Eddie Guerrero there to induct you?
Oh no!
Like the way they do them on the concerts and stuff like that and all.
Yeah,
some of them look really. Now, if you could do it really properly and cool,
yeah. Some of them, I hear a lot of argument that those concert ones, especially, are really like exploitative. Yeah. And when they're used badly, I remember hearing, I think when Kanye West with Kim Kardashian, for her birthday, he got a hologram of her dad who had died, saying that Kanye is like great and is going to be a good husband.
God.
Imagine that, like his final message from the spiritual world is Kanye's sound. I think you're going to like him. I don't know. But the
I think with Flair, he'd be probably. I think with Flair would probably be elbow dropping his jacket, and he'd be looking for another match,
and like walking, fall on his face like that.
Sean probably still hasn't forgiven him over the Rolex and all that.
Yeah, I mean? It's just the hologram. There's like it can look amazing because WB are so good at presentation.
Yeah,
but it's still a hologram of Eddie Guerrero.
It might pull on the heartstrings a bit too much, maybe. Yeah,
it would be like if they brought back a hologram of Bray Wyatt to do his induction speech.
Well, maybe if they got the boys to do the induction, but there was maybe if they had some snippets of Eddie Guerrero being interviewed talking about Batista or something like that and all that they could play or something like that. But again, it's like, me in November, I'm always in tears when Eddie's anniversary comes around anyway. It kills me at times, Get Vince McMahon to induct Triple H, that's not going to happen. No. That's definitely not going to happen. But
I imagine Vince McMahon will like invade the stage at some point. Like get taken up by security or something. I don't know.
Right, let's run through some quick history. I have a little bit here for you, but it's a bit of death in here as well. Nothing I could do about it, really. It's just the week and the way it falls, So we start off.
No discharge in the war, I suppose.
1996, quote the Raven, nevermore. Raven retained the ECW World Heavyweight title against the Sandman in the main event of ECW CyberSlam 96 from Philadelphia. That's probably as good as it gets for you.
Oh, no.
2002, WWF No Way Out in Milwaukee marked the return of Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash to the WWF after being away from the promotion for 9 years, and for Hogan, 6 years for Hall and Nash. This is where everyone goes. They missed the boat on the invasion, didn't they? You know what I mean? This is like, for all you people pissed at the invasion, we're going to really rub your nose in it now.
That's not too bad, though. So far, we have two of my favorites in a great ECW pay-per-view.
There we go.
Below it, we have the NWO coming back when it was still kind of cool.
But now I'm going to drag you down a level.
Oh, okay.
2007, we lost Mike Awesome, passed away at age 42 on top of Florida. He was best known for his appearances in ECW, WCW, WWE, TNA, and with Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling. And all
the most underrated big man in history. Yeah. We croon so much over like big guys who can do athletic things. Mike Awesome was doing that before anyone, before PCO, before Dijak, before Keith Lee, before anyone. And I cannot believe that a booker could watch his match with Mike Awesome or with Masato Tanaka at One Night Stand and go, actually, no, I'm not going to sign either of these. I don't think they'd be great. Such an unbelievable talent. My God. And those matches with Masato Tanaka, go out and watch them. I don't think the network has ECW. Actually, I looked it up and they only have December to December. But those matches
You'll find them.
were unbelievable, and Mike Awesome is so missed. And I
Awesome
God,
by name and awesome by nature.
awesome by name and awesome by nature. Couldn't have put it better.
2008 at WWE No Way Out in Las Vegas, Floyd Money Mayweather was in the front row to support his friend Rey Mysterio, who unsuccessfully challenged Edge for the World Heavyweight Championship. And we were probably on the back end of probably the worst worked punch ever. This started off Floyd Mayweather's feud with the Big Show.
He got color though. Big Show,
he broke his nose.
Yeah, can't fault him for that.
Yeah, absolutely. 1993, a very sad day, of course. We lost, of course, the Texas tornado. Kerry Von Erich passed away at the age of 33. He was part of the legendary Von Erich family and the curse and all that kind of stuff over the family. So sad.
Beautiful film, by the way.
I actually have right here to my left on my shelf here, I have his Hasbro. It's there front and center as always. What a talent he was.
Wow.
The fact that he was able to wrestle on after that motorbike accident and all, and fool people as well into thinking it was all good and stuff like that. No, but what a talent, what a look, what a physique, what a body, what a performer.
All the Von Erichs just look like action figures.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Iron Claw, if you haven't seen it, is a beautiful, very moving, very touching film. I'd highly recommend you watch it, whether you're a wrestling fan or not. But don't go in expecting it's 4 brothers and then they all become wrestlers and da-da-da. It's not like that. No, it's really, really tough.
Yeah. 2008, WWE announced that the legendary Ric Flair would be inducted, speaking the devil, into the Hall of Fame the night before WrestleMania 24 that April. He was the first active wrestler to be announced as an inductee.
So that's crazy.
That was crazy. What a match. What an emotional match. What a Rolex watch.
And he honored that retirement very well. Yeah. And he didn't have any other matches after that. No. And he had a really good career.
No. Thank God for Jay Lethal. Thank God for Jay Lethal.
I still can't believe that actually happened. He faked a heart attack. And Mick Foley and The Undertaker looked so sad at the end of it. They had all these legends front row to make it like they're... my God.
2005 on Monday Night Raw, Royal Rumble winner Batista made his choice of who he'd face at WrestleMania. With his main event title shot, he chose Evolution stablemate Triple H, concluding one of the greatest face turn angles in wrestling history.
Yeah,
tables everywhere, folders everywhere.
Yeah,
everything absolutely.
Although that match at WrestleMania was not great, it was fine. It wasn't perfect, to be honest, but so much better than Triple H facing another member of Legacy or Legacy. Evolution.
It did add to Batista's stock at the time. That's for sure. Right, we have a few birthdays for you. Is there anything in here? A little bit in here for you, of course.
Okay.
So we start off 1955, Raymond Rougeau. 1918, Classy Freddie Blassie. 1981, Sean Spears. 1974, Danny Doring. 1972, Francine. 1948, Big John Studd. And we rounded it out with probably the nicest on the list, I would imagine. 1976, one Gail Kim. What a wrestler Gail Kim was.
Oh yeah, Gail Kim. I love Gail Kim.
There we go. Okay. So that's it. They're your notable birthdays for the week.
I think you redeemed yourself after throwing in Kerry Von Erich and Mike Awesome.
There you go. Brought it back around for us.
Yeah.
So that's it, folks. We finish up. We get some of your where are we? Sean, are you on Instagram?
Am I? Yes. Yes, I am.
He probably wants your Instagram. I'll give you a follow. There you go.
All right. Have a look.
Niall, any breath figures? I have a lot of breath figures.
I'm going into the shop on Friday. I can report back.
Yeah. I'm not too sure what I have in the shop, but up there, there's 2 signed breath figures. Behind me, there's a couple of Hasbro signed figures that I got carded. There's a Montreal screw job up there somewhere. Few bits. There's a lot of Bret Hart in here. couple of bits, all right, yeah, couple of bits. Bret
He,
Hart.
sure, do you even like Bret Hart?
Had the pleasure of meeting him a number of times. Had the pleasure of having him in the shop as well,
Oh,
which was really really cool because I wasn't necessarily a huge Bret Hart fan. I was a Hart Foundation fan, but I wasn't necessarily a huge Bret Hart fan.
yeah.
I always kind of liked the hokey pokey shenanigans of Shawn Michaels and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
also I had to draw my line. But I tell you what a performer, what a wrestler. I'll drop into the shop on Friday. Absolutely, good to see you, pal.
Oh, shit, Reggie, I might see you.
There you go. We'll time it. We'll time it around his caramel coffee, wasn't it? That what he had last time, some caramel
Yeah.
coffee or something, which was his beverage of choice on the day. Right, folks, until next time, if you could subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button and drop a like on the video. We appreciate you as always in the chat there. And if you could share the content and continue to comment after and all that kind of good stuff, that breaks the YouTube algorithm as much as we can. We will be back next week. We'll keep you updated, of course, on the Chamber, WrestleMania, and any other wrestling news that comes out. I will be back on Thursday with Darren, Thursday Tier Talk, your usual dose of football and stuff like that. We'll be asking Darren some of the hard questions, obviously, about Man United as well at the moment. Lots of stuff going on there. But as Eno says, we are over and out, and we'll talk to you again real soon. Sean, a pleasure as always.
My pleasure is all mine, Niall. Thanks so much for having me back on, and hope we see you all very soon.